show is PG-13, so you might hear a naughty word or two.
Tumble Track is having a sale. 5% off carpet bonded foam and up to 10% off Spieth and preschool equipment. You guys, 10% off Spieth. You know you need this, like the athletes that just competed that we're going to talk about. Check out the sale tab on their website. Visit them at TumbleTrack, TUMBLTRAK, tumbletrack.com. Train smart today, you guys. We just watched the most exciting, crazy, unpredictable,
bizarre, bonkers.
First day of World Team Trials. It's September 19th. I'm reporting live from Katy, Texas. Spencer is in the comfort of his home, making sure he could actually have a live stream, not like us in the gym that could barely see. So welcome to our day one immediate reactions directly from World Team Trials. Welcome to GymCastic, the #1 gymnastics podcast in the galaxy. I'm Jessica, and I'm here with Spencer.
Oh, are you?
From the Balance Fame situation. Spencer, can you tell everybody how the coverage works?
Oh, sure. So if you're a club member, make sure you're on your members feed so you can do the whole thing, listen to the whole show. We'll start with headlines for everyone, talk about the big news, talk about what a weird meet this was, and then the rest of the episode will be behind the scenes bonus content for the club members to say thank you because of how much we appreciate you. And remember that we're going to do this again tomorrow after the second day where they compete select events. The team is also going to be named tomorrow. We'll see about the timing. And then our Worlds coverage is going to start almost daily on Thursday, September 28th, women's podium training. That's going to be our first show from Worlds. We're also giving away another full commission during Worlds, a full commissioned episode to a Club Gym Nerd member. So make sure you are one of those so you can win a commission.
So, you guys, I have a lot of updates because we got to talk to Chelsea and I talked to some judges and coaches immediately after the competition.
Okay, good.
But
I want to know.
The big news is after the third event, I was like, Kaliya Lincoln, champion. Just kidding. It's definitely going to be Shilese. And I wrote it in the notes. We have one guaranteed. We know one member of the world team. Yeah. It's Shilese Jones in all caps. And then she hit her feet on bars, which we thought was on the bar. But then I talked to the judges and she hit her feet on the mat. After.
Okay.
So
this is why I was confused. I'm very glad you confirmed this because we watched this routine on the feed and I was like, another brilliant bars routine for Shilese because it was cut, like the frame, of course, was cut off. So we couldn't see the mat or anything. So she hit her feet. And that was why the score came up as 13-5. And I was like, did you invert? Did you mean 15-3? Did you invert some numbers there?
Right. And like it wouldn't be so shocking because there are a lot of mistakes today, including that the neutral deductions were being added to people's scores instead of deducted. So,
yeah,
you know,
it went great. Floor judging really went great today.
Oh my God, floor judging. I know, because we kept being like, that can't. So when Shilese's score came up, we were all like, that can't be the right score. That must be wrong. And then we're like, okay, she hit her feet, but we couldn't see from where we were sitting either that she hit. But I guess like talking to people that were right there, you could actually hear her feet hit. And then so basically the reason her score is so incredibly low, because I still was like, so it's a point. Like I still don't understand. It should be close to a 15. But if you get the deduction for hitting your feet, then you don't get the connection bonus. So that's why it looked like she hit a routine, but didn't get the score that we normally expect from her on bars. And so then I was like, well, how can this be? This can't be right. And then we're like, oh, okay, so the guaranteed spot goes to Simone, even though she had 3 falls today.
2.
3, because she put her hands down on... No, she had 3 falls because, hold on, where are my notes? You.
Oh my God. I didn't change anything about your notes. She sat down the Yurchenko double pike on vault. She fell on the Van Leeuwen on bars.
Yes.
She hit beam just a few like connectionies, and then she hit floor just a bunch of out of bounds.
Why was I thinking she didn't put her hands down on floor, right? No.
You're thinking of most of the other gymnasts.
Everyone else. Competition. Okay, 2 falls because floor was fine. And yeah. And then vault. This is the thing I have to say about it was a weird warm up for Simone. Like she was doing very little and bars just looked out of whack all day. So I'm not surprised that she fell on her Van Leeuwen because her bars just looked like she wasn't tight the whole time during bars warm up. And I was like, this is weird. So I don't know exactly what was up with bars. Maybe something's bothering her, but I mean, she fell 3 times and still won, you guys.
Still twice, though.
Twice, sorry.
As far as I know, it was still twice. You can't just keep saying 3 falls and try to make 3 falls happen.
Okay. Oh my god.
Yeah, and
I guess
she won the all around. It was still top 3 on 3 events.
right.
Which is my favorite thing.
She is so crazy good. I just can't, because
Like-
I was like, well, that's it. Shilese is gonna win. She said she wanted to be world all around champion, and here's the first step. She's gonna soon even meet.
And it's like the funniest thing about Simone still winning and still being top 3 on 3 events is like, even if you had no background with Simone, like even if this were her first elite meet ever, she'd still be on the world's team with 2 falls because her scores were still that good, even though she's gonna be like, well, that was horrible.
So we'll put up a video in a little bit right after this recording of our interview with Chelsea after, but I asked Chelsea what she said to Simone, or what do you say to Simone after a day like this? And she was like, I gave her a hug and I just said, good job. And she gave me a look like, are you kidding me? And she's like, she's not dumb. Like, she knows that she didn't do well, but like she got through it. And Chelsea said, if you're going to make mistakes, now's the time to do it, which is that's the thing.
If you're Simone and you're already making the world's team no matter what.
Right.
Now is not the time to do it if you are like maybe fighting for a spot on the world's team. But yeah, for Simone, absolutely make your mistakes today.
It was one of those days where I was really sad that we didn't have the NBC extra HD camera so we could hear every time she'd be like, that was a piece of shit. What the fuck? We didn't get any of that. I have my binoculars, but I could see her, her feelings, but I could not. Also, we have a question from Sophia.
What connection does Shy not get for hitting her feet? Well, I don't know when she hit her feet, so I missed that entirely.
She didn't get her... Wait, I know this. Hold on. She did not get her pack to something, which this is the one thing about doing this like quickly is we don't have time to go back and review.
So she didn't connect pack to Van Leeuwen.
Yes.
Was that just why?
Because she didn't get her feet on. That's what I was talking to Scott Bregman after this, because he's one of the other reporters here. And he said, he thinks she didn't get her feet on for Van Leeuwen. And so that's why she then smacked her feet and then had to.
Right. So it wasn't like she didn't get connection credit. She just didn't do the connection to the Van Leeuwen.
No, she wouldn't get her. Sorry, she wouldn't have gotten her.
We can go over this later.
No, and no bonus. It's no bonus. So yeah, the bonus for the connection, right?
Okay,
that is a connection. Is the bonus? We're saying the same thing. We're agreeing with each other and fighting about it as usual.
Dare you? How dare you?
Yeah.
So are we like? Is this a Simone? Is this performance a concern for Simone? Scott says, by the way, Chelsea made it sound like she lost the connection value on the toe to Tkachev
to pack. Oh.
So that the connection,
because her pack, she hit her feet out of her pack, I guess.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So we can confirm that when we put the video up of her. Yaz. Yaz knows. And
okay, so that's when she hit Stalder Tkachev to pack. Got it.
Yeah.
I understand now. What I was going to ask was like, so how much are we reading into this Simone performance and having 2 falls? Like, are we worried about it? Is this like going to continue kind of like we think it's going to be an issue heading to Worlds?
No, because Simone hasn't had a shitty meet yet this year, and she always has at least one shitty meet and then is fine. Like when she came back last time, it was Winter Cup that she had a shitty meet, shitty.
For her,
one of the highest scores in the world, falling twice. So I'm saying that in like Simone terms,
quotes. Yeah, we got it.
For Simone quotes, not how my feelings about how she did. So like, I think just like Chelsea said, I'm not worried because and the thing is, vault, they are not landing on competition surfaces on vault. And that's one of the good things that I feel like is a change since the Marta days. And because they're like, there's 2 people who did gymnastics as grown-ass women who are running this thing now. So they were like, don't land on hard surfaces. We know you can do the vault. So I think that you have to take that into consideration. And also she made the right correction on her vault. So she over-rotated and fell backwards. You never want to land short on that kind of vault. that is where people get seriously injured. Shout out to everyone, Kaliya Lincoln, who didn't look like they were going to rupture all the discs in their back when they landed their double flipping pike dismounts off of beam, and Sky as well. Every time I see them, I literally in my head, I just see your back discs in your back shooting out across the room when people land short on those. And I'm like, oh, anyway, just so you know what goes on in my mind when we see that. Okay, so what other questions do you guys have about what happened today, besides everything?
So, Simone, you know, we talked about Simone's performance. Shilese, great until bars. We talked about bars, but she was doing hit beam, got over a 14, another solid beam for her. I think that's been the biggest development this year, is that she's doing a pretty risky beam routine and isn't like falling every second. She had a hand, grabbed the beam one day of nationals, hit the other day, hit beam today.
And Shilese, honestly, like, I felt like she was better on her series. So she does a leap mount and then she connects it. And I felt like it was, I don't know if she's going to, I mean, considering that Simone didn't get her connection bonus in her routine, I don't think that Shilese got it, but it was an improvement from what she did at championships. Also, I asked Cecile specifically if Simone has a backup for beam, like, you know, a Dutch would, a Netherlands. And of course she does. But she thought that she got the connection, so she didn't do it. So, yeah.
We saw her do the backup of that mount sequence with the switch half to back tuck series bonus. We saw her do the backup at nationals, where she just does switch split leap on the beam to do that series. But it was borderline this time. And, you know, she didn't get it, which I think is like good. Err on the side of, like, you know, the instinct is always like err on the side of like the benefit of the gymnast. But I'm like, Trials, no. Err on the side of not the benefit of the gymnast, because you have to assume that everyone's mean.
Right. Oh my God. I also asked Chelsea, because I don't know about you guys, but we have a lot of judging things to talk about today. And I felt like I didn't understand the scores, especially we have to talk about what Spencer pointed out to me, floor, where Josc and Kaliya are within 0.2 of each other.
0.2 in execution. The execution
That's
score
not
specifically.
Possible.
That didn't make sense to me.
It doesn't make, unless it all came from artistry, but even that doesn't make sense. It would be, I just don't, it doesn't, I don't understand it at all. So we have
also, wasn't there, and I know we have judges listening, so I want to know, Jordan Chiles' floor score, she did not have a forward acro element in that routine, right? That was one of those situations that, as we're watching, I'm like, are we hallucinating? Am I having a hallucination? Which is certainly possible.
Did you guys also see, I don't know if you could see on the stream, that right when she crunched her ankles and landed short on floor, like Cecile and Laurent said something to each other, and then Laurent ran over and yelled to her, and I asked Cecile what he yelled. And so he told her to change her pass there so that she wouldn't.
So
and
that's
then,
why she didn't, but she still got a 6.0 D score.
Well, this is the thing. There are a lot of things that I was like, is this not quite right? I also think, Scott Bregman says, she did not have a forward element. So that's one judging error that we saw today.
Both good decision and also definitely not allowed.
Right.
Laurent, you cannot go over in the middle of your Jordan's routine and tell her what passes to do. Also, in the interest of safety, great. Good.
Right, that's the thing. And this is the thing. She should have gotten a deduction. Her D score should have been lower because she didn't have a forward flip in it, and because she was coached, which is not allowed. So those two things should have been a deduction. And I asked Chelsea about that specifically, and she was like, and I asked her, did you judge these? And she was like, I did judge some, but then I was trying to judge two, and then it became too much, and so I stopped. And she was like, So yes, I have some, but she said, I was not the one sitting in the judge's seat. So she was very clear to say that she could not give specifics because she wasn't in the judge's position, which she was not. She was standing up in a different section away from where the judges were. So I accept her answer.
She's diplomatic.
And I also asked her.
She's in a leadership position. She can't go to a member of the media and be like, these judges, Jessica.
What the fuck? She also, the other thing, I did say, so there was no like fig flack last minute or something where all of the judges got a directive that they should take 1,000 times less execution or more? And she was like, no, nothing like that happened. But we did get confirmation officially today that and the FIG approved Simone's 6.4 difficulty on vault. So that is approved, official, confirmed with Cecile and with Chelsea. And I was like, how do you feel about that? She was like, I'm kind of shocked. Sorry, that this happened so early. And we were like, right? Has this ever happened before? But I guess Cecile and Laurent asked to do it early. So they did. And so it was approved early, which is less work for the judges and the boops TC at World. So why wouldn't they want to do it early? It's great.
Yeah. And this is the value that makes more sense than the 6-2. So I'm there for it.
Spicy 6-4. Oh, I love a spicy 6-4. I need to get water, so I don't.
You should get water. So I was going to ask Jessica, which I will still do because she's getting water, about changes in our expectations of what the World's team might be from when we finish nationals to now, what the biggest change in your mind is after watching the first day of trials. For me, I think the biggest development was Robertson getting that floor score of 13.85 and tying Kaliya Lincoln there. Even if I have some questions about, some various execution, the fact that she got that score, it is the score of record. It's it really helps her argument for the World's team.
For me, I love Josc because you can put her anywhere and she's going to hit. Like, she may not get... And
you keep saying that, and you forget that bars is an event.
No, you're not going to put her on bars.
You just said you can put her anywhere, and she's going to use her on bars.
You're not going to use Kaliya Lincoln on bars. See, this is the one thing.
That's the one thing about putting them on a team together.
Josc also added back her between bar ginger and made it today. So they were like, all right, we need a little bump. We can't take the deduction. Here it is. For me, Shilese obviously is solid. I thought she was for sure going to win. Stupid feet. I mean, they should make the low bar higher. But then, so it's like Simone, Shilese. But for me, the story was Kaliya Lincoln and Josc, because I feel like Sky and Leanne.
Sky's in for me.
Sky's
in.
Okay, so we have Sky, Shilese, and Simone. So we have 2 more spots. Yeah. So I feel
for me, Leanne is alternate. I think they're going to put I think they will be more inclined to put Leanne on a World's team, which, I'm a Leanne stan, so that's not a problem for me in that regard.
Brilliant today.
But it wouldn't be, the highest scoring team. So,
look at these graphics we have. This is so beautiful.
We are looking at the all-around standings right now, if you are just listening to this.
Yes. And so I feel like, Leanne finished, Leanne finished 5th.
And then Kaliya Lincoln was 6th all around.
Yes.
So if they do their, go by the all-around standings strategy, which you never know, would be Biles, Jones, Blakely, Robertson, Wong, and then you'd have Kaliya Lincoln in as an alternate, which I could see happening.
I can totally see Kaliya as an alternate, because if you need anyone, these are a lot of leg people on this team who are good at the leg events. So if you need someone to fill in any of those spots, you can put her in. And then you have Simone, you have Sky, Shilese, and Leanne for bars for finals. So you can put them up and stop there. You don't have to use your 4th person in prelims. So,
and I think they're gonna having not necessarily having to put Simone up on bars in the team final. Even though that's not a significant amount of rest, but just the symbolically not having, you don't have to carry everything, I think would be helpful.
Yep. I do want to mention something else, specifically as we talk through what happened today about what happened on vault, because it looked like, we had right away in warmups, we had Katelyn Jong it looks like she slipped. We couldn't really tell, but she just didn't get the block and then landed short in warm-ups and immediately grabbed her ankle. Like, I was like, oh no, her Achilles popped or something. It looks so bad, but you can't tell, right? So by the end, they had her in a boot and she was, walking around, but she didn't come back to the competition, which is a bummer because she was pre-qualified to Pan Am Games, which Scott Bregman had to remind me because I forgot there was this weird loophole nominative qualification thing to Pan Am Games. So but then it continued to have a bunch of weird vaults and weird scores on vault. And we had Jade looked like she had a weird vault and Simone fell. And I was like, what's up? So I asked Brian Carey afterwards was I imagining that or were people slipping on vault? And he said, yes, it's super slippery. And he said that actually when Jade went, he almost dove in during her vault because she slipped. And he just said it's super slick. It's like an old vault. And I mean, from where we're sitting, which is like there's an observation deck in the back of the gym, the vault, both vaults are shiny. Shiny,
We
the
could
way
tell
leather
looked
right,
like that as well.
a leather purse. Like a vault should never be shiny like that. Like that's how you choose which beam you don't want to use if it's shiny. So that is really, really, really dangerous. And I hope they will like scuff it take some, Brillo pads and scuff the crap out of it. I mean, Laurent kept spitting on his hands and like going over it. Someone's probably going to make a gifs of that, but I just want to let you guys know if you want to make gifts. That's so inappropriate, Spencer. Stop that. It's late, you guys. It's been a long day. Okay, so for me, Shilese, Leanne, Simone, Kaliya, Lincoln, Sky, Josc, in some kind of configuration are the team.
as your 6. Oh, are
Right.
you not defining your alternate yet?
No, we'll see what happens.
Gonna wait until after podium training. We also have tomorrow. I never know how much the second day of these things is even taken into account, but usually people do 2 events. This year they said 1 to 3 events, but usually it's everyone does basically everyone does bars and beam. I imagine no one's gonna want to vault tomorrow if it's slip and slide again.
Oh, the slip and slide. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to vault on that thing. So I have a lot more. Oh, we have a good comment right here.
Allie says, my daughter competed there for her level 8 state meet earlier this year, and her coach had to save her life on vault during warm-ups. What is happening?
They need to resurface those vaults or Brillo pad it and honey and all the things. Just have some men's gymnasts come in there and be like, this is what we do to the P bars, and we're going to do it to the top of this vault right now, because it's just, it's really dangerous. It worries me a lot. So I do want to tell you guys some behind the scenes stories, especially about what was happening with NOLA and some other things going on in the arena. But before I get to those things, I want to remind you that the way that our coverage works for these special travel coverage live from events, because it's so expensive to travel to these things, especially since, we didn't get approval till the last minute, but I'm very glad to be here, that we will be back tomorrow with another episode after we watch the competition tomorrow, and hopefully after the team is announced, because I don't think it's going to take too long to announce the team. They're also announcing the Pan Am team tomorrow. But this is where our regular coverage ends, and this is where it continues for our Club Gym Nerd members, because they are the ones who are paying for this trip. They're the ones who support us all year long through every quad, and are paying for our trip to the World Championships next week, where we have every single day starting when women start, except for one day. We're giving ourselves one day off this year. Our coverage will start every day. There's a podcast. And then you guys are helping pay for our trip to Paris too, and our coverage from there, which I'm sure it's going to be super affordable. So thank you guys so much for supporting us. I'm going to talk about some behind the scenes things that I saw in the arena today that cracked me up. And until then, we'll see you back here tomorrow about an hour after the competition ends. So see you then.